in the finale at the beginning of the season. And so the fun for us was building a road that in many ways misled the audience, but also led them to the exact moment so that when the reveals came, it was both a total shock and inevitable. And that required a lot of construction along the way. And that was really what we spent our time all season designing. Let's bring up the fact that he had a son, but then let's put that story to bed. People will hopefully stop looking in that direction. Let's introduce Henry before we reveal that there's a child, because no one will, if we had introduced Henry after that, everyone would have gone to, oh, that's his son. So that construction, the deliciousness of knowing where we were going at the end, waiting and watching the fan reactions and the guessing games that started, we were totally convinced that people were going to know halfway through the season what was going on. So I think for me, the most fun was the finale, and sort of watching that bomb go off and then waiting for the Twitter feed and all the artists. That went on for like 4 days, and that was pretty great. It was very satisfying. It felt like we did what we set out to do, and now we have to match the bar that we set everything up.
I like the Irving's daughter being possessed because it started to open up the world a little bit, and it started to become even more unpredictable as we went. And it was a sort of a platform for the episodes that Alex was.
I think I also the finale was really it was really rewarding. But I gotta say I had the most impact in terms of watching was I really thought that Necromancer was fantastic, and getting to see, because I'd always been so interested in what, everybody knows Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. What is the story of who that guy is? And Abby and Crane working to find out who Headless Horseman actually is, and we reveal that he's Abraham. It was a thrilling episode. I really enjoyed that one.
One of my real privileges as head writers, I get to write with everybody here. And again, we have just the most talented staff. And getting to write the one that I didn't work on, the pilot, was the one that, like I told the four of you guys when I met on it, was like they had me when I saw 1776, the very first title card that comes up. It's such a cool concept to see, a person from a revolution, a founding father, in today's world, and then it just continually, every scene blew my mind, and getting to pick those kind of swings all season long, it was fun. Personally, probably doing Necromancer, because as we started breaking it in the room and going, okay, we're going to capture the Horseman, great. What are you going to do with him? Like, how is he going to talk? And we went through a lot of iterations of chalkboard and that episode with Phyllis, co-creator of the show, and ultimately we landed on Necromancer, and as soon as we realized, well, I think it was Bob and Alex who came up with the idea of using a Necromancer, and go, well, who would that be? It was obvious it had to be Brooks, and so the whole episode kind of came together really quickly from that point, and it's really fun.
But that worked really well because John probably wasn't aware that there were many iterations that we were thinking about doing that. One was that we were going to have it be a different voice. We actually had some German actors come in and do a voice that was going to be that was him speaking through you. That we didn't know exactly how.
Have you ever heard any of those voices?
But then you did such a creepy, really great performance with that. It was chilling, and so it was. We didn't know exactly where we were going to land, and you landed us with that. It was great.
Thanks, that was fun. I will also point out that I'm fairly certain that's the first time an Asian has spoken German on a.
It's so hard to choose because there are so many moments that I loved of each. I think I have to personally, and I don't know if it's so much of a fan as someone who's a part of the show, I have to say the pilot, and I think, I was actually saying to Nicole backstage, because it's pilot season in California, in LA right now, I guess all over the country actually these days. But from the beginning, there was something about the pilot that being there every day and the cast that we got, and then I remember seeing it, and we did all post in Len's office, and seeing it that first time. I don't know, there was just something about it that you felt like you were working on something really good, that you're really proud of, and I know that sounds like I'm just saying this, but you don't have that opportunity a lot. And actually I remember I brought home a copy to my husband. I snuck an illegal copy, and I really wasn't what to do, and I brought it home to my husband to watch, and he sits through a lot of the things I've worked on. I was like, yeah, that's great, honey. And oh yeah, that moment was really. But in this one, he was like blown away, and it's just you felt it from the beginning. So I don't know, I'm just really proud of it. So.
Me too. I loved the episode before Necromancer. I loved Necromancer. I loved all of them. Writers, sorry. But all reviewers, Midnight Ride. The bastardizing history that we do so brilliantly. It was a really funny episode, and also really tense, setting up the trap for horsemen to pick up the skulls and chase after us. And also we do cliffhangers really nicely, and the image of the headless horseman in chains was quite a nice one. So yeah. That one.
I actually like that one a lot too, Midnight Ride. And then I like Sin Eater because I'm being selfish because I got to do a ton in that one. Actress, man. I just thought it was amazing because Abby gets to hang out with Katrina and John Noble, and that was my first time working with John Noble, and he was just amazing to work with, and grabbing him out of his, curmudgeonly, like tiny little apartment was a lot of fun. So that's one of my favorites.
Oh wow, my turn. I think the moment that made me 14 again was the pilot. I love kind of all the episodes, and I enjoy the journey of them, so I can't really pick one, but if I had to choose the moment where I was 14 and just on a ride and wasn't thinking about anything other than how into the show I was, like the moment when I saw Star Wars and my mom was like, you should go see Star Wars. I was like,
get on with it. Get on with it.
Yes, I'm not talking to you right now.
It's Orlando.
So the answer is the pilot. I think that's the one. It's touched my
I guess selfishly, my favorite would have to be Vessel. It's the first one where you see, first you find out a lot about Jenny in that episode, and I got to play Possessed, which is super rad. Thank you. My grandma was saying, I had to close my eyes. It's like awesome.
I like pilots and finales. I just do. It's like reading the first page of a book, and everything's laid out, and it feels and like in this show, and as in all good stories, when you watch a good pilot, it feels like, I feel comforted. I'm in the hands of good storytellers, and that's a really special feeling, and it's very.
You're just gonna let him keep talking. I said 12 words, and he was like, move it on. Now all of a sudden, your ex-boyfriend is there rambling on. I'm just listening back to 18.
But then you have to deliver, and when it's wrapped up and you have a lot of what ifs, it's like a really complicated math problem and having to, or a word problem, and then putting it all together. It's a feat, and it's really impressive to watch. But I will say, I'm sorry, this is such a moment. But I really appreciate the opportunity to do what I did in the language in Necromancer. That particular episode, I didn't go to drama school. I'm an uneducated heathen, and to be able to attack that kind of language was just a really special moment for me in my career. So, thank you.